June Kim stared out the large window of Earth Space Station Unity. The stars looked different from up here. He had been working as the station's lead xenobiologist for 3 years. All that time, he had been waiting for this day. "They're coming," said Director Lee over the station's speakers. "All staff to their positions. First contact starts in 30 minutes. June straightened his blue uniform and checked his reflection in the glass. His black hair was neatly combed, and his eyes showed both excitement and fear. As Earth's expert on possible alien life, he would be one of the first humans to meet the visitors. "Are you ready?" asked Min, the station's security chief, as she walked up beside him. "Not really," June admitted with a small smile. "How can anyone be ready for this? We've waited hundreds of years to meet aliens, and now they're actually coming." Min nodded and looked out at the stars. "I hear they found us through our radio signals. They've been listening to us for decades." "Yes," said June. "They call themselves the Galactic Union. Over 200 different alien species working together, and today they decide if humans can join them." The station shook slightly as the alert system blinked red. "They're here," whispered Min. Through the window, June saw it appear. The alien ship was huge, at least 3 times bigger than their space station. It didn't look like human ships. Instead of being made of metal, it seemed to flow like water, with colors moving across its surface. "It's beautiful," June said. "It's terrifying," Min replied. Director Lee's voice came through again. "Welcome team to the main hall. They're docking now." June took a deep breath and walked with Min to the main hall. 20 other humans were already there, standing in a line. Everyone looked nervous. Earth's future might depend on this meeting. The large metal door at the end of the hall began to open. June held his breath. The aliens walked in slowly. There were 7 of them, each different from the others. The one in front was tall and thin with blue skin that seemed to glow. Its body was almost see-through, and June could see liquids moving inside it instead of blood. It had 4 arms and walked on 2 legs, moving gracefully across the floor. "Welcome to Earth Space Station Unity," said Director Lee, stepping forward. "We are honored to meet the Galactic Union." The blue alien bowed its head. "I am Ambassador Trill of the Floraxian species. We bring greetings from the 217 members of the Galactic Union." Its voice was soft and musical, coming from a translator device around its neck. "We have prepared a welcome dinner," said Director Lee. "Please join us." The humans and aliens moved to a large table set up in the center of the hall. June found himself sitting across from a small green alien with 6 eyes. "I am June Kim, Earth's xenobiologist," he said to the green alien. "I study life from other planets." The green alien made a bubbling sound that might have been a laugh. "I am Ziv. I study humans. We have been watching your television and radio for many years. You are very interesting." June smiled. "What do you find most interesting about humans?" Ziv's 6 eyes blinked one after another. "You make art about meeting aliens. You imagine us in many different ways, some good, some bad. You hope and fear meeting us at the same time." "That's true," said June. "We've been alone for so long. We wanted to know we weren't the only ones in the universe." The dinner began with servers bringing out foods from Earth. The aliens looked at everything carefully before eating. They seemed to enjoy most of it. As June reached for his water glass, his hand bumped his fork, knocking it to the floor. The sound of metal hitting the floor was loud in the quiet room. Every alien at the table froze. Their skin colors changed from calm blues and greens to bright orange and red. "I'm sorry," said June, reaching down to pick up the fork. As he stretched out his arm, his sleeve pulled back, showing his wrist. 3 aliens made high-pitched sounds that hurt June's ears. Ambassador Trill stood up so quickly that his chair fell over. "What's wrong?" asked Director Lee, standing up too. "Is there a problem?" Ambassador Trill was shaking, all 4 of his arms held out in what looked like a defensive position. He pointed at June's wrist. "You have those things inside you," said the ambassador, his voice no longer musical but high and afraid. "Hard structures, supporting your flesh. June looked down at his wrist in confusion. My bones? Yes. All humans have them. We have a complete skeletal system. This made the situation worse. All the aliens moved away from the table, their colors now bright red and orange. They whispered to each other in their own languages. Director Lee looked at June with wide eyes. What's happening? June shook his head. I don't know. They seem afraid of our bones. Ambassador Trill spoke again, his voice calmer but still shaking. We did not know. The images we saw of humans did not show this. You have internal hard structures throughout your bodies? Yes, said June. Our skeletal system. It supports our bodies and protects our organs. Don't your species have something similar? The ambassador shook his head. No sentient species in the Galactic Union has internal hard structures. We evolved differently. Some have fluid support systems, others have external shells, and some use other methods. The green alien, Ziv, stepped forward bravely. In our history, across many worlds, the only creatures with internal hard structures were apex predators, dangerous hunters that killed and ate other animals. These creatures are extinct now on most worlds. June began to understand. So when you see our bones, you think we're predators? Dangerous animals? Yes, said Ambassador Trill. This is unexpected. We will need to reconsider many things. Director Lee stepped forward. Please, let's sit down again. We can explain our biology to you. Humans are not dangerous predators. We're peaceful explorers, just like you. Slowly, the aliens returned to the table, but they kept their distance from the humans. June could see they were still afraid. This changes everything, whispered Min to June. They're terrified of us just because we have bones. June nodded. We thought our differences would be cultural or technological, not something as basic as having a skeleton. Ambassador Trill was speaking quietly with the other aliens. Finally, he turned to Director Lee. We will continue this meeting, he said. But we must inform the Galactic Union about this discovery. Humans are unique in ways we did not expect. June realized that humanity's place in the galaxy had just become more complicated. They weren't just the new species looking for acceptance. They were the species with bones, a biological feature that terrified the entire galactic community. As he looked around at the nervous aliens, June wondered what this would mean for humanity's future among the stars. Would they be feared, respected, or would their bones keep them isolated even in a galaxy full of alien life? The first contact dinner continued, but nothing was the same. The simple fact of human biology had changed everything. 6 months had passed since the first meeting between humans and aliens. Dr. Hyun Park stood in front of the large window on her transport ship. The stars stretched out before her as they traveled faster than light toward the center of the Galactic Union. Hyun was Earth's top anthropologist, someone who studied different cultures. Now she was heading to the main hub of alien civilization to learn more about what people were calling the bone taboo. We will arrive at Central Hub in 30 minutes, Dr. Park, said the ship's computer. Hyun nodded and straightened her formal blue suit. Earth's government had chosen her for this important mission. She needed to understand why aliens feared human bones so much and find a way to help the two sides get along better. The last 6 months had been difficult for human-alien relations. After the discovery that humans had skeletons, many alien species refused to meet with humans in person. Trade deals were canceled. Some aliens even called for humans to be banned from joining the Galactic Union. This mission needs to work, Hyun said to herself, or humans might be alone in the galaxy forever. When the ship docked at Central Hub, Hyun was amazed by what she saw. The space station was enormous, many times bigger than anything humans had built. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved through its halls. Some floated in the air, others crawled along the walls, and many walked on legs like humans did. A tall, blue alien was waiting for her at the dock. She recognized Ambassador Trill from the videos of First Contact. Dr. Park, welcome to Central Hub, said Trill. keeping a careful distance from her. I will be your guide during your stay here. Ha-Yun bowed slightly. Thank you, Ambassador. I'm looking forward to learning more about the Galactic Union and helping our peoples understand each other better. Trill led Ha-Yun through the station to a large room filled with alien technology. This will be your meeting room. Over the next week, you will speak with historians, scientists, and leaders from many species. I appreciate this opportunity, said Ha-Yun. May I ask you a personal question, Ambassador? Trill's skin changed color slightly, turning a lighter blue. You may. Why exactly do bones frighten you so much? I understand they remind you of predators, but the reaction seems very strong. Trill was quiet for a moment. It is not just that. They remind us of predators. It is that they should not exist in sentient beings. In the history of all 217 species in the Galactic Union, hard internal structures were only found in the most violent and dangerous creatures. These were animals that hunted, killed, and consumed others. They were nightmares that haunted our ancestors. But humans evolved from such creatures, explained Ha-Yun. Most life on Earth has bones. Our distant ancestors were simple fish with spines. Over millions of years, we evolved into what we are now. That is what disturbs many of us, said Trill. You are what we would call apex predators. Your very bodies are designed for hunting and consuming. Can you understand why that frightens peaceful species? Ha-Yun nodded slowly. I think I'm beginning to understand. Over the next few days, Ha-Yun met with many different aliens. She spoke with a Jeluvian historian whose body looked like a clear jelly with colored spots floating inside. In Jeluvian history, the bone creatures were called the Devourers Gang, the historian told her, his body quivering slightly. They hunted our ancestors in the ancient oceans of our world. Their hard internal structures allowed them to move quickly and bite with terrible force. We only survived by hiding in deep caves. Humans don't want to hunt or harm any alien species, Ha-Yun assured him. We want to be friends and trading partners. The historian's body changed color to a dark blue. But you could harm us, couldn't you? Your bones give you strength that we cannot match. Many species fear that you might consume us. Ha-Yun had to try hard not to laugh at the idea of humans eating aliens, but she could see that the historian was truly afraid. Humans are omnivores, she explained. We eat plants and animals from our world, but we have strict rules about what we can eat. We would never harm a thinking being. Later, Ha-Yun met with a scientist from a species called the Vapori. They looked like clouds of mist, held together by thin, clear membranes. The strength your skeletal system gives you is remarkable, said the Vapori scientist. You can lift objects many times your weight. You can survive falls that would destroy most of us. You can even replace damaged parts of your skeleton with artificial materials. These things seem normal to us, said Ha-Yun. We don't think of ourselves as particularly strong. That is because you compare yourselves to each other, said the scientist. Compared to most species in the galaxy, you are incredibly durable. A human child could accidentally kill a Vapori adult with a simple hug. Ha-Yun was shocked. I had no idea the difference was so great. By the end of the week, Ha-Yun had spoken with over 30 different alien species. She had learned that not only were humans the only creatures with bones in the galactic community, but they were also significantly stronger and more durable than most aliens because of it. She called an emergency meeting with the human diplomatic team on Central Hub. We need to change our approach, she told them, showing them her findings. Our biology terrifies them, and for good reason. We're much stronger than they are because of our skeletons. So what do we do? Asked one diplomat. We can't change our biology. No, agreed Ha-Yun, but we can change how we present ourselves. They fear us, yes, but they also need us. Need us? How? Asked another diplomat. Ha-Yun displayed images from her meetings. Their fear of bones comes from their own histories. They evolved on worlds where the predators were eventually defeated or died out. But there are still dangerous creatures in the galaxy. Several species mentioned ongoing problems with space pirates and aggressive non-Union aliens. You're suggesting we offer protection, said the lead diplomat. understanding dawning on his face. Exactly, said Ha-Yun. We turn our greatest weakness, in their eyes, into our greatest strength. Humans can be protectors, not predators. Our terrifying biology makes us perfect for security roles that many Union species cannot fill. Will they trust us enough for that? Someone asked. Ha-Yun nodded. I believe they will. Ambassador Trill told me something important yesterday. He said that what truly frightens them isn't just that we have bones, but that we have bones and high intelligence together. No species in the Union has seen that combination before, but that combination also makes us valuable allies, said the lead diplomat. Precisely, said Ha-Un. We can show them that evolution took a different path on Earth, but the result isn't something to fear. It's something that can benefit everyone. As the meeting ended, Ha-Un looked out at the stars again. The Galactic Union was vast and filled with different kinds of life. Humans were just one species among hundreds, but their unique biology made them stand out. We'll find our place, she said quietly to herself, bones and all. Captain Taeho Choi sat in the command chair of the Earth Defense Force ship Indomitable. He watched the stars on the main screen as his ship moved through space. They were heading to the Proxima Centauri system, where both human and alien settlements had reported trouble. Captain, we're almost there, said Jinsu, his communications officer. We should reach the research station in about 20 minutes. Taeho nodded. Any sign of the pirates? Not yet, sir, said Nav, the navigation officer. But our scans show 3 ships hiding behind the third planet. They match the description of the Vespulian cartel ships. Taeho frowned. The Vespulian cartel was a group of space pirates that had been attacking settlements for months. They stole supplies, kidnapped people, and destroyed property. The Galactic Union had tried to stop them but had not been successful. Why hasn't the Union been able to deal with these pirates? Asked Yuna, the ship's second-in-command. From what I understand, said Taeho, most Union species don't have the physical strength to fight the Vespulians, and their security forces are small because they've had peace for so long. So they need us, said Yuna, because we have bones. Taeho smiled slightly. Yes. Our scary human skeletons might finally be useful. It had been 1 year since humans learned about the bone taboo. In that time, Earth had signed a protection agreement with the Galactic Union. Human ships would help keep the peace in exchange for access to alien technology. The Indomitable was the first human ship assigned to this duty. Captain, the pirates are moving, said Nav suddenly. They're heading toward the research station. Full speed ahead, ordered Taeho. We need to get there before they do. The Indomitable raced through space, its engines pushing it faster than any Earth ship had gone before. The alien technology they had received from the Union made their ships much more powerful. We're going to make it, said Nav. But just barely. As they approached the research station, Taeho could see the 3 pirate ships closing in. The station was home to 20 scientists from Earth and various alien worlds. They were studying the unique plant life on one of the planets in the system. Open a channel to the pirate ships, Taeho ordered. Jinsu worked at her control panel. Channel open, Captain. Taeho stood up. This is Captain Taeho Choi of the Earth Defense Force ship Indomitable. You are in protected space. Leave this system immediately. The screen changed to show the pirate leader. It was a creature with a body like a large octopus, with many tentacles and a head covered in small eyes. Its skin was dark green with purple spots. Human vessel, said the pirate leader, its voice translated by the computer. This does not concern you. We have business with the research station. Any business with the research station must go through proper channels, said Taeho. The Proxima Centauri system is under Earth's protection now. The pirate made a sound that might have been laughter. Protection? Your 1 ship against our 3? Your threats are meaningless, human. Taeho smiled and walked closer to the screen. He held up his bare arm where his uniform sleeve was rolled up. Slowly, he turned his wrist back and forth, making the bones visibly move under his skin. Perhaps you don't understand what humans are capable of, he said calmly. The pirate leader moved back slightly, its many eyes widening. You're one of the bone creatures, it said, its voice lower now. All humans have bones, said Tejo. Strong internal skeletons that give us strength that your species cannot match. We don't want to harm you, but we will protect this station and everyone on it. He picked up a metal stylus from a nearby control panel. While keeping eye contact with the pirate leader, he snapped the stylus in half between two fingers. You have one chance to leave peacefully, said Tejo. There was silence on the bridge as everyone waited. The pirate leader seemed to be talking to someone off-screen. Very well, human, the pirate finally said. We will leave. But the Vespulian cartel does not forget. The screen went blank, and Nav reported, the pirate ships are turning around. Captain, they're leaving the system. A cheer went up from the bridge crew. Tejo sat back down in his command chair, feeling relieved. He had not been sure if his bluff would work. They didn't even try to fight, said Yuna, sounding surprised. Just because you showed them your bones. The bone taboo works in our favor this time, said Tejo. But we can't rely on fear forever. Eventually they'll realize we're not as dangerous as their legends say. Or maybe we are, said Jinsu with a smile. After all, we did just scare off 3 pirate ships without firing a shot. The Indomitable stayed in the Proxima Centauri system for 3 days, making sure the pirates didn't return. During that time, Tejo visited the research station to meet with the scientists there. You saved our lives, said Dr. Wren, the station leader. The Vespulian cartel has attacked 6 other research stations in the past month. No one survived at those stations. I'm glad we got here in time, said Tejo. But I'm curious about something. Why didn't the station have any defenses? Dr. Wren, who was a human, gestured to the alien scientists working nearby. Most of our team are Florians and Jeluvians. Their species are completely peaceful. They don't even understand the concept of weapons. The Union has been at peace for so long that they've forgotten how to protect themselves. That's why they need us, said Tejo. 2 weeks later, Tejo was called to a meeting at Earth Defense Force headquarters. Admiral G, the head of the space fleet, wanted a report on the Proxima Centauri mission. You did well, Captain, said Admiral G after hearing Tejo's story. The Union representatives are very pleased. They've asked for more human ships to patrol their borders. It felt strange, admitted Tejo, using their fear of our biology to scare off the pirates, like we're playing the monsters they think we are. Admiral G nodded in understanding. For thousands of years, humanity has been the underdog, fighting against stronger forces. Now, for the first time, we find ourselves as the intimidating force in the galaxy, not because we want to be, but simply because of our biology. So we're using their fear against them? Asked Tejo. Doesn't that make us the monsters they believe we are? No, replied the Admiral. It makes us protectors. We're establishing peace without violence. The galaxy will soon learn that humans may have the bones of predators, but the hearts of guardians. Tejo thought about this as he left the meeting. The Indomitable would be sent on another protection mission soon. More pirates to scare away, more settlements to defend. Bones of predators, hearts of guardians, he repeated to himself. It was a good way to think about humanity's new role in the galaxy. As he looked out at the stars from an Earth station window, Tejo wondered what other adventures waited for humans among the stars. Their scary bones had found a purpose that no one could have predicted. They were no longer something to be ashamed of, but a tool to bring peace to the galaxy. Dr. Sumin Lee bent over her microscope in the quiet lab of the research vessel Hippocrates. For 3 weeks now, she had been studying samples from patients across the outer colonies. A strange new disease was spreading among alien species, and as Earth's leading xenobiologist, Sumin was in charge of finding a cure. Any progress? Asked Dr. Hyun, her research partner, as he entered the lab with 2 cups of coffee. Sumin straightened up and rubbed her tired eyes. Not much. The disease is unlike anything I've seen before. It's causing calcium deposits in species that have no natural calcium in their bodies. Hyun placed a coffee cup next to her and looked at the microscope screen. The image showed cells from a Jeluvian patient. Hard white structures were forming inside the normally soft, clear cells. It's spreading faster than we thought, said Sumin. Reports are coming in from 12 different systems now. The osseous plague, they're calling it. Osseous, repeated Hyun. Bone-like. Yes, said Sumin. The disease is causing bone-like formations in species that have no evolutionary framework for such structures. It's like their bodies don't know what to do with these hard deposits. It causes pain, limits movement, and in severe cases, death, finished Hyun quietly. Sumin nodded and took a sip of her coffee. The worst part is the panic. Many alien species are accusing humans of creating this disease. They think we're trying to make them more like us, or worse, trying to kill them. Across the galaxy, fear was spreading even faster than the disease. The timing was suspicious to many. Just 2 years after humans joined the galactic community with their strange bone-filled bodies, a disease appears that creates bone-like structures in other species. Anti-human protests had erupted on dozens of worlds. Some were even calling for all humans to be quarantined to the Sol system. We need to find the source, said Hyun. If we can prove this wasn't created by humans, maybe we can calm the fears. I've been tracking the spread, said Sumin, pulling up a star map on her tablet. The first cases appeared here on the mining moon Charon 4. A mining moon? Asked Hyun. What were they mining? Rare minerals for spacecraft engines, said Sumin. The operation was run by the Vespulian cartel. Hyun's eyes widened. The same pirates that have been causing trouble at the outer colonies? The ones humans have been fighting? The very same, said Sumin. I think they disturbed something during their mining operation, something that had been dormant for a very long time. For the next few days, Sumin and Hyun worked tirelessly, analyzing samples from Charon 4 and tracking the disease's path. What they discovered shocked them. It's not a human-made disease at all, said Sumin as she presented her findings to the ship's captain. It's a microorganism that was trapped in the rocks of Charon 4 for millions of years. When the mining operation broke open those rocks, the organism was released, and it causes calcification in soft-bodied species, said the captain, looking at the images. Yes, said Sumin. But here's the interesting part. It doesn't affect humans at all. Our bodies are already adapted to deal with calcium. We have specialized cells called osteoblasts and osteoclasts that build and break down bone material. So not only did we not create the disease, said Hyun, but we might be the key to curing it. As Sumin continued her research, she made an important discovery. By studying how human bone cells regulated calcium, she developed a treatment that could stop and even reverse the calcification process in infected aliens. We need to announce this immediately, urged Hyun. We can end the panic and save lives. Sumin shook her head. Not yet. If we rush in with a cure developed by humans, many will still suspect it's part of some plot. We need to approach this carefully. She contacted Jun Kim, who was now Earth's ambassador to the Galactic Union. Jun had been working hard to improve relations between humans and aliens despite the growing tensions over the osseous plague. A human-developed cure might cause more suspicion, agreed Jun when Sumin explained her findings. But what if we share our research with alien scientists? Let them help develop the final treatment? Exactly what I was thinking, said Sumin. We can be partners in the solution, not saviors. Within days, a joint research team was formed. Scientists from 20 different species worked with Sumin and Hyun to understand the disease and refine the treatment. The Hippocrates traveled to Central Hub, the main station of the Galactic Union, where the team could work together in person. Many of the alien scientists were nervous about working so closely with humans at first. But as they began to see how human biology provided insights into the disease, their fear turned to curiosity. Your bodies maintain a balance of bone growth and breakdown, said Ziv, a six-eyed scientist who had become less afraid of humans since they first met at the first contact dinner. This is what the infected species are missing. They have no way to stop the growth of the hard deposits. That's right, said Sumin. And by using a modified version of our osteoclast cells, we can give them that ability temporarily, just long enough to clear the calcium deposits. As the joint team made breakthroughs, perceptions began to shift. News spread across the galaxy that the very biological feature that had made humans feared was now providing insights that could save billions of lives. The first successful treatments began 3 months after the osseous plague was first identified. Infected aliens were given injections of modified human cells that targeted and removed the calcium deposits. Recovery was slow but steady. "It's working," said Hyun, looking at the latest medical reports. "The calcification is reversing in 93% of patients." Suman smiled tiredly. She hadn't slept much in the past 3 months, working day and night to perfect the treatment. "And the source? Has the mining moon been contained?" "Yes," said Hyun. "A joint human-alien team has sealed off the infected areas. The Vespulian cartel has been pushed out of the system." On the day the Galactic Union officially announced that the osseous plague was under control, Suman stood with June and other human representatives at a ceremony on Central Hub. Ambassador Trill, who had once been terrified of human bones, now approached them without fear. "On behalf of the Galactic Union, I thank the human scientists who helped develop the cure," said Trill. "Without your unique biology and your willingness to share your knowledge, many more lives would have been lost." "We're just glad we could help," said Suman. "Perhaps," said Trill, "we have been wrong to fear your bones. What once seemed like the mark of a predator has proven to be a source of healing." As Suman left the ceremony, she thought about how strange the galaxy was. Humans had spent centuries imagining what aliens might be like, never once considering that something as basic as having a skeleton might make them unique. "From feared to respected," said Hyun as they walked back to the Hippocrates. "All because of our scary bones." Sumin laughed. "It's a good reminder that differences aren't always bad. Sometimes they're exactly what's needed." 5 years had passed since humans first met the Galactic Union. Today was the day that would decide Earth's future among the stars. Ambassador Jun Kim stood outside the grand meeting hall on Central Hub, trying to stay calm. In a few minutes, he would lead the human delegation into the hall for the final vote on Earth's membership in the Galactic Union. "Are you ready?" asked Ha-Un Park, who stood beside him. After her work understanding the bone taboo, she had become Earth's cultural liaison to the Union. "As ready as I'll ever be," said June. He straightened his formal blue jacket and checked that his special gloves were in place. The gloves were designed to hide the bones in his hands when he moved, a courtesy to the more sensitive alien species. Tai Ho Choi, now retired from the Defense Force and working as a diplomatic attaché, joined them. "The security teams are in position. No issues reported." The large doors to the meeting hall began to open. June took a deep breath and led the human team inside. The hall was enormous, with seating for representatives from over 200 species. The walls glowed with soft lights that changed colors slowly. The ceiling was a dome that showed the stars outside. In the center of the hall was a raised platform where June and his team would stand. Around them in a circle were the seats for the Union representatives, rising up like steps in a giant bowl. Chancellor Trill, once the ambassador who first discovered human bones, now led the entire Galactic Union. She stood on a higher platform, across from the human delegation. "Representatives of the Galactic Union," Trill's voice carried throughout the hall. "Today we vote on the petition from Earth to join our union as full members. This would grant them equal standing among the stars with all rights and responsibilities." June stepped forward to the speaking position. This was his moment to make the final case for humanity. "Distinguished delegates," he began. 5 years ago, when we first met, our biological differences seemed impossible to overcome. You saw our skeletal systems as signs of predators, reasons to fear us. We understood your concerns but hoped to prove ourselves through actions rather than anatomy. He gestured to the hall around them. The building had been specially designed, with sections for human visitors that were separate from the areas for species most disturbed by human bones. But it also showcased engineering, inspired by human skeletal structures that benefited all species. "Together we turned fear into understanding," June continued. "The osseous plague taught us that our differences can provide solutions for shared problems. The joint protection fleets showed that strength can protect rather than threaten. The Cultural exchange programs proved that what seems strange can become familiar with time and patience. June could see that many of the delegates were listening carefully. Some still showed signs of discomfort when looking at humans, but it was much less than 5 years ago. Humans are not asking to join the Union because we want to change it, said June. We are asking to join because we believe in its mission of peaceful cooperation between different species. We may have bones, but we also have hearts, minds, and dreams that are not so different from yours. Chancellor Trill rose from her seat. Her formerly completely soft body now had something new, a thin external support structure that looked similar to a human skeleton but on the outside rather than inside. Many Floraxians had adopted these exoskeletons after learning from human biology. It allowed them to move more efficiently and survive in environments they couldn't before. When humans first showed us their bones, Trill addressed the assembly, we saw monsters from our nightmares. We saw the predators that haunted our ancestors, but today, I see something different. I see the framework upon which the future of our union can be built. Different, yes, but necessary for the structure we are creating together. June felt hope rising as he heard these words. Trill had been one of the strongest voices against humans in the beginning. If she had changed her mind, perhaps others had too. The time has come to vote, said Trill. Will Earth join the Galactic Union as a full member, with all rights and responsibilities? Please register your vote now. The hall went quiet as each delegate used their voting system. June, Ha-Yun, and Tai-Ho stood silently, waiting. This vote would determine if humans would truly become part of the galactic community or remain outsiders. After 5 minutes, a soft chime sounded. The voting was complete. Chancellor Trill looked at the results on her screen. June could not read her expression. The votes have been counted, said Trill. With a majority of 173 species voting in favor, 38 against, and 6 abstaining, Earth is accepted as the 218th member of the Galactic Union. A soft sound of approval went through the hall. It wasn't the loud cheering that might have happened on Earth, but for the Union, it was a strong show of support. June felt a wave of relief and joy. 5 years of work had finally paid off. Humans were no longer feared outsiders but recognized members of the galactic community. As the formal ceremony continued, representatives from many species came to congratulate the human delegation. Ziv, the six-eyed scientist who had worked with Su-Min on the plague cure, approached them. I never thought I would say this, said Ziv, but I am glad to call humans my allies. Your biology once terrified me, but now I see it as just another path that evolution can take. Thank you, said June. We've all learned a lot about accepting differences in these past years. After the ceremony, June, Ha-Yun, and Tai-Ho walked together through the halls of Central Hub. As full members of the Union, humans would now have their own section on the station, with offices, living spaces, and research facilities. We did it, said Ha-Yun, smiling widely. When I think about that first dinner, when they all panicked at the sight of your wrist bone, and now we're full members, who would have thought that our scary bones would end up being the galaxy's backbone? Tai-Ho said with a laugh. June nodded, thinking about the strange journey they had taken. Evolution works in unexpected ways. What terrifies one generation might save the next. Maybe that's the real lesson in all of this. Not that humans are special for having bones, added Ha-Yun, but that diversity, even frightening diversity, makes the universe stronger. As they reached the observation deck, they looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there was Earth, the planet where humans had evolved their unique biology. But now, humans had a place among those stars, accepted for who and what they were. 2. The future, said Tai-Ho, raising his hand in a traditional human gesture that once caused aliens to flee in terror, but now symbolized friendship across the stars. To the future, June and Ha-Yun replied together. A group of young aliens approached them, students from the Union Science Academy. They looked at the humans with curiosity rather than fear. Is it true that human children lose their bones and grow new ones? Asked one of the students. June smiled. Not exactly. We lose our baby teeth and grow adult teeth. They're not really bones, but similar. The students asked more questions, genuinely interested in human biology now, not frightened by it. As June answered their questions, he realized that this was the true victory, not just being accepted, but being understood. Humans had found their place in the galaxy, bones and all.